Hi again, everybody. Bill Phillips here on a Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. And it is, we're closer to the weekend. Closer to the weekend. It is in the Ohio Valley, a little bit of a rainy day. Started with some tornado warnings, but fortunately, not too much damage. Some strong winds, but again, not too much damage on this Thursday morning in the Ohio Valley. But we are getting ready for the weekend. Always getting ready for the weekend. So we will talk about, you never know what we're going to talk about. But we can talk about the Pirates winning a game, second win of the year. Paul Skeens, they should have at least 3 wins. He should have won his first game as well, but the Pirates managed to give that one away. But the Pirates get a second win as they head home for the home opener tomorrow against the New York Yankees. So the Pirates with 2 wins. There you go. It's early in the season, everybody. Really, really early in the season. Last year, they got off to a pretty good start, and then they faded. Maybe this year they get off to a slow start, and they finish strong. We'll have to wait and see. So anyways, we have that going on. Jordan, producer extraordinaire, has just walked into the room. You know who's always in the room with the 9-Minute Phill-Up, Valley Converting, from T-Town, from Toronto, Ohio, the Gem City. Mike Biasi and the crew, always getting it done. If you have paper products and you want them recycled, that's where you need to go. That's what you need to do.
Every piece of paper has a story. What if that story didn't end when you were done with it?
At Valley Converting, we turn your old paper products into recycled paperboard, continuing the story.
Locally owned and operated in Toronto, Ohio, bringing your paper to Valley Converting isn't just about recycling.
It's about supporting a cleaner, greener future for all of us.
We are here 5 days a week to help you make some green by going green.
And remember,
recycle for your future.
All right, so recycle for your future. Indeed, Valley Converting. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who joins us every day with the 9-Minute Phill-Up. We greatly appreciate it. And we usually like to go down the days of the date. Mm-hmm. You have your national days, and there always seems to be a plethora of days. It's really just one day. It's really like, okay, Friday is just this one day. There's always more. Do we have any days where there's none? We should try and find that out. I'm going to research that. That would be. Oh, here's something. We still haven't made a road trip to Cambridge for the pizza tasting contest to see who has got the best pizza. But now I am curious about a pizza in Toronto. I may have to call Mike Biasi and put him on this. I have a project for him. I believe it's Iggy's Pizza in the Gem City of Toronto. They are tied in with the Jefferson County Steubenville Library event where they're going to be celebrating Library Week. And they have a thing called the Dewey Decimal System Pizza. Don't know what that entails. Most people that are of your general. Oh, wait a minute. Someone's calling about the Dewey Decimal System. All right. We're going to have to take that a little bit later. It's a business calling. Let's see. I actually believe my taxes may be done. So, we'll see what happens there. That can't be a good thing. Taxes, please. So we'll find out. But anyway, so the Dewey Decimal System Pizza, your generation, did you learn about the Dewey Decimal System? All right.
Yeah, I did.
So anybody right now, do you think they're learning about the Dewey Decimal System?
Nope.
I mean, I guess you could if you go to the library, you should. But
do I remember how it works now? I just know it's like a bunch of decimals and numbers.
Yeah, you go to the card catalog and we had a little in the school library that we had a little I don't know, like a desk-looking thing with different slots, and it had 3x5 cards.
Yeah.
You'd have, like A to F, and then
Yeah.
all the letters, and you go through, and you're like, okay, I need National Football League Heroes or something, and you go to that, and it has the number, and then you can go match it on the shelf, so you can find your book. So I'm curious what you would come up with for a Dewey Decimal System for a pizza. So I might have to go and find that. That's got the curiosity going. So we might have to figure that out. My glasses are an absolute wreck. Thought we did a brief surgery, and my arm still fell off. So apparently, when I went to my doc, and they said need new frames.
I don't understand how that happens, because don't you put them back in the case?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I try to take care of these. My other ones, you're knocking them around, and whatever. So we got to get these straightened out. But we're supposed to get some new frames, because look at this. They don't even stay on right. Gotta tighten that up. All right. So here are some days for today, April 3rd. National Film Score Day. So, great scores. I don't know if that means original scores or, just movie soundtracks. But my favorite, I thought of this, the first one that popped into my head. Rocky. Bill Conti, the original Rocky. I believe he won the Academy Award for the score of the movie. And if you watch the original Rocky, the music's phenomenal. That's the one thing Sylvester Stallone did right. I mean, well, he did a lot of things right on Rocky. I mean, they filmed it in like 30 days. But they had Bill Conti do the score, and it was fantastic. Like every scene, it's just the music. When they're at the end of the fight with Rocky and Apollo Creed, and they're just going back and forth, and they're trading punches, and it's just so dramatic. The music it's just perfect. It is just, or when he's out and he's training, especially the first day, and he's running through the streets, and he's literally got a stitch in his side, and he can barely make it up this, and it's just the right tone of the music and everything. And then when it turns around, I mean, it's just a beautiful soundtrack. So film score. So we're gonna go with Bill Conti. If you have a different opinion, please share it. We'd like to hear about it. All right, Charlene. Good morning, Bill from New Cumberland. All right, New Cumberland's in the house. Jordan, say hello to New Cumberland.
Hello, New Cumberland.
There we go. Hopefully you're having a great day. And I see Charlene has glasses. So I hope your glasses aren't all over the place like mine. But I'm missing my left arm. I don't know. So we got to get those fixed. Okay. So, here's one for you. We talked about it on the show. National Burrito Day.
Oh.
Uh-huh. So Olivia Zinn quickly decided, I'll look it up and see if any of the establishments that might sell burritos may have free burritos.
I bet Chipotle probably is doing something.
Correct. They
always do.
So if you want to go get a burrito. And then I said, what's your favorite burrito? So Jeff was kind of like, well, it's just a burrito, isn't it? And, well, we can have chicken burrito. You have chicken and veggies and stuff. And you can have chicken and steak. You can have shrimp, chicken, and steak. You can do the triple threat.
No,
Jordan's
shrimp.
out on the shrimp. She's out on
Not
the shrimp.
for a burrito.
Why not? You can put it in there. Mix it all together. No? You know what I like at Puerto Vallarta in Steubenville? Burrito Supreme. Good stuff. With a little queso on it. There you go. I couldn't tell you what's in the Burrito Supreme other than it's really good. It's National Find a Rainbow Day.
Oh.
So, and there's rain today, but I don't know if there's enough sunlight to really create the rainbow effect.
Yeah.
If you're going to see rainbow. So, National Chocolate Mousse Day. Isn't that kind of like it's whipped so it's nice and light? So chocolate mousse. Jeff suggested on the show, he said, you know what, I could put the chocolate mousse in the burrito. Just combine it. And I was kind of like, I don't know about that.
No.
I don't know about that. Oh, here you go. John Michael chiming in. Anything John Williams is on my favorite film scores list. Star Wars. Pretty good stuff. I mean, yeah, he's done a ton of stuff too. But John Michael, I'm telling you.
What about Harry Potter?
He's a young lad with a scar on his forehead.
No, the music.
The music? I got to be honest with you.
You've never seen Harry Potter?
No, I've seen all of them. Did not read a one word in one book.
Me either.
But I did see all of the movies, and I have to tell you, the score does not stand out to me. Like
No, yeah, you're probably right.
I'm not really thinking about that. But I'm telling you, John Michael, go back and watch the Bill Conti original Rocky score. And I think, and the John Williams stuff is phenomenal. I mean, he did what did he do? He Indiana Jones movies, the Star Wars movies, all kinds of stuff. I mean, ridiculous amounts of stuff. So he's the most prolific. He's probably the best at what he does. But I'll tell you what, Bill Conti in the Rocky movie is just so good. And if you take into account that the studio wanted to take the movie away from Sylvester Stallone, they're like, yeah, we'll make the movie, but you're not going to be the producer. He's like, no, this is my baby. I'm going to keep this. I want the rights to it. I'm going to keep it. And he continued to, and it was on a shoestring budget. They made it in 30 days, and they edited with the movie. It's phenomenal. It's an unbelievable story. John Michael's in on the Rocky soundtrack. So there you go. I love Rocky soundtrack too. All right. So we've got Chocolate Mousse Day, and then Tweed Day, National Tweed Day. So, guys like tweed jackets. Dad used to have tweed jackets, kind of like just a material jacket. It's nice. It's not bad. Not bad. All right. Now, birthdays. Birthdays. Got some doozies here. Got some doozies. How about this one? Marlon Brando, 1924 to 2004. Godfather, Marlon Brando. One of the great American actors, one of the great actors in film history. Now, the first time I ever saw Marlon Brando was before The Godfather, because we didn't have. You either had to have an actual film or you didn't see it. I mean, there wasn't stuff, and you didn't go to the videos. You didn't go down to the Blockbuster and pick up a copy of The Godfather. So I didn't see Godfather for a while, but I did see this in 6th grade, 7th grade. What? I don't know. Somewhere between 6th grade and sophomore year. I don't know. Can't remember. What have been? I can't remember. Anyways, on the waterfront.
Okay.
On the waterfront. Not my night, Charlie. Not my night. The whole big scene between the brothers, Marlon Brando and Rod Steiger, who played Charlie, who's his brother. And it was all about the mob. It was about the running of the waterfront and how Brando was the guy that was going up against everybody. And he goes, not my night in the garden. I had Wilson. We were dancing. I could have taken him apart, Charlie. I mean, he was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And then went on with the Godfather and everything else, and everything he seemed to touch in terms of movies, was usually a pretty huge success. And he was outstanding. But he was born April 3rd, 1924, died in 2004.
Wow.
All right, Donka Shane, darling Donka Shane, Wayne Newton, Mr. Vegas himself. And all I said, born in 1942, so he's a year older than my dad, so he's 82 depending on when he was born. But it had listed for next to one of the great entertainers. Okay, I mean, he's been out in Vegas forever. He's been the guy in Vegas. But how about this one? Everybody knows this one. One of the funniest guys, comedic actors, comedians. Is when he was a comedian, did stand up. Absolutely sensational. And here it is. 1961, born on April 3rd. Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie Murphy. Now, a movie that I don't know if people, if you haven't seen Jordan, you need to see it. 48 Hours. Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte. Great movie. Great movie. Funny movie. The Beverly Hills Cops movies, especially the first one. But he's done some really Saturday Night Live. He's just absolutely hysterical. But his concerts, if you can get a copy of his concerts from when he did stand up, when they were buying ice cream, and he was talking about kids getting ice cream back in the day, and he drops his ice cream cone on the ground, and he picks it up and he blows on it, wipes it off, he goes, ice cream. he just went back to eating the ice cream. Eddie Murphy, super, super funny individual. So those are some of the birthdays. Those are some of the national days. One of the things we have tonight, want to remind everybody, is the News 9 Sports on the go from Seven Ranges Entertainment in Steubenville. And it is fun, food, entertainment. We're going to have a lot of fun out there. The Nacho Man will be there. Don Sloan, he'll be there with me. Rich Donnelly will be there. Joe Patini played for the San Francisco Giants, Major League Baseball. He won two World Series rings as a coach for the Cardinals. Rich, of course, has a World Series ring. And then we're going to have Mark Eddy. Funny man, Mark Eddy, but not just funny, can also play. He was down at Fort Steuben. He went out to California a while ago. Great entertainer, singer, comedian, does impersonations, the whole thing. I mean, he's really, really good. So we're going to talk to him because he had a show that he did down in Bradenton before Pirate Spring Training, or right at the end of spring training, where they called it a Yinzer send-off for the Pirates. So they did a big show down there. So we'll talk about that, talk about the Pirates and everything else. Let's see. Birthday coming up. Charlene, birthday April 16th. We'll mark that down. You know what, Charlene? My brother's birthday is a mere 5 days before yours. And he was born on April 11th. So now that it is April 3rd, I should probably get a card, some sort of gift in the mail. And it's kind of like when people say, oh, I was late for Christmas with my presents, or I was late for your birthday and everything. Charlene, happy birthday early. Please check back in on your birthday. But yeah, you've kind of forgot. It's like you had a whole year. You knew it was coming. It's not like they're moving it. It's like July 4th. Oh, I forgot to get some fireworks. I didn't get any hot dogs for, it's like it's been coming for the whole year. So birthdays galore. But today is actually on a much more serious note. There's no easy transition to this. You could have started with it, but then where do you end with it? April 3rd, and it's one of those days. And in 1968, April 3rd, one of the great speeches in American history was given by Martin Luther King Jr. And he was in Memphis, and I wrote down some notes on it. He delivered "I've Been to the Mountaintop" speech, April 3rd, 1968, Mason Temple in Memphis, Tennessee, Church of God in Christ headquarters in Memphis, Tennessee, to be exact. Just 39 years old. Just 39 years old. And he was there they were in protest of the Memphis sanitation strike. They wanted fair pay, they wanted to get better working conditions, and he was there for that. In the speech, he talked about unity, economic actions, boycotts, nonviolent protest. And he challenged the United States to live up to its promises, to live up. And in the speech, he talks about live up to what's on the paper. It's written there, live up to it. And then at the end of the speech, he talks about longevity, and he talks about, it has its place. But he went on to say, he said, I may not get there with you, but he didn't fear. And he said, he goes, there's going to be some really hard days coming. And you're listening to the speech now. Now I was 3. No, I wasn't even 3. I was probably about 2.5. And you hear him talk about hard days coming, and to realize that in less than 24 hours, he's going to be assassinated. And he talked about God showing him the promised land, and that he'll be there. He's seen the promised land. He sees that that's going to happen for himself and for everybody. Just 39 years old. Just 39 years old. One of the all-time great speeches, but at the same time, one of the saddest speeches, because the next day he's gone. But what icon, pillar, just one of the amazing human beings that's ever walked this earth in terms of what he was able to accomplish in just 39 years. And Charlene says, thank you. John Michael, the mountaintop speech, Dr. King. And Bobby checking in. Hey, Bobby. But so back to the speech, and then on April 4th, he is assassinated. He's outside of his hotel room at the Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. He's on the balcony, and he is literally waiting to go to dinner. And then they were going to have a meeting later that night, and he was gunned down at the age of 39. And then I found this today when I kind of got started on this, and just I always feel like if you can, on a day like today, if you can find a copy of that speech, read it, listen to it. If there's a documentary that's on, watch it. Try and learn about when I've always tried to do this with my kids. It's Martin Luther King Day. Okay, well, why are you off of school? You're not having school today. Why? Mm-hmm. Well, because it's Dr. Martin Luther King Day. Well, why is that important? My daughter's 21. My son's 25. They weren't alive. Unless you educate them, you just don't know. So I always try and do that to watch or read or but learn and learn about the pillars, the icons that have made a huge difference. And I don't know if anyone's made a bigger difference. Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, just amazing stuff. And then what I found, Jordan, was, and this is just his last words. Let's see. John Michael, we as people will get to the promised land. Yep. Bobby says he died on, so tomorrow's your birthday, Bobby. Bobby said he was turning 9 years old when Dr. King passed away. So this was, according to everybody, Martin Luther King's last words were to musician Ben Branch, urging him to play Precious Lord in that night's meeting and play it real pretty. So the back and forth, according to Branch, was context of the situation. Again, Dr. King's been shot in Memphis on the balcony, getting ready to go to dinner, and he's dying. And he spoke to Ben Branch, a musician who was scheduled to lead music at the meeting that night, and asked him to play his favorite hymn, Precious Lord, Take My Hand. And this is what was said. King said, Ben, make sure you play Take My Hand, Precious Lord, in the meeting tonight. Play it real pretty. And Branch replied, okay, Doc, I will. And those were his last words. But the words that everybody knows from the day before is the I've been to the mountaintop speech, which is just, you watch it and you know what happens, and it gives you chills. Just gives you chills. And again, one of the greatest Americans to ever live, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Let's see. Bill and Jordan, which famous person announced MLK's death during his presidential campaign impoverished speech? I would say that would probably be Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Or not Jr., Robert F. Kennedy, RFK. That would be my initial reaction. Now, the thing is, I saw a clip. Dan Rather was the news anchor for CBS that came on in the emergence, or in the immediate
right
breaking news situation. But again, I saw it and thought about it and just thought, it's one of those speeches that, if you could, and if you listen to what he says, not just about the mountaintop, not just about making it to the promised land, if you listen to what the context of it in terms of what America needs to do for everybody, to give them economic opportunities, to give them the right to protest, all the things that are promised. It's just, it's phenomenal. And he was amazing. So again, April 3rd, I've been to the mountaintop speech by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And then the next day he was gunned down April 4, 1968. And a very popular song, U2, is called Pride. And then the other title a lot of people give it to is In the Name of Love. And they sing about Dr. King and the assassination and how important he was. And and that was released back in 1984. So, just April 3rd, 1968, and then April 4th, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King, kind of the speech encapsulates who he was, what he stood for, and then his unfortunate assassination. I mean, it's more than unfortunate. I don't have the words to sum that up, but it's just not April 4th was not a good day for the nation. And but Dr. King, what a difference. You want to talk about someone that made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it. Okay. Suzanne? Morning, Mr. Bill and Jordan. Sorry if I spelled your name wrong. No, all good. Thank you for joining in. And John Michael, RFK, 1968 was such a turbulent year because we lost both of those gentlemen. Not only, and then 1968 also, and you see it. I can't remember where I saw it. There were riots in the streets. Then Apollo 13 happened. Or wait, 68 was that Apollo 1 when the spacecraft burned up on the launch pad. I can't. I'm drawing a blank on that. It's either. I'll figure that out for tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, 68 was tough times in the United States. It was a tough year, very, very tough year. Vietnam was going on, very tough year. But we're now in 2025, believe it or not. 2025. I'm sure a lot of people back in the 60s were like, wow, we're never year 2000. But here we are. We're in 2025. Closer to, just about closer to 2068. Just moving on. Wow. If I'm alive in 2068, now how old I'm going to be. Woo-hoo-hoo. Man. 103? I could do that.
You could do it.
I could do it. Why not? Yeah. Why not? Put some preservatives in there. We'll be all good.
What is that? 40-something years?
Yeah, 40 years. 43. 43 years.
How old am I?
Mercy sakes. All right, everybody. We are out of time for today. So we have to go. Okay, here we go. Hold on. John Michael heading to Steel City Con tomorrow, meeting Happy Days reunion and Ann Margaret. Wow. Happy Days, #1 show for it seemed like every time it was on. And then we got the expression jumping the shark from that because they kept the show on too long, and then Fonzie actually jumps Shark Tank. It was like, oh man, they jumped the shark. And Ann Margaret, one of she was a superstar actress, pinup superstar, sex symbol back in the day. And she was in a number of big movies. She was in Grumpy Old Men. She was big Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau and Ann Margaret. That was a good movie. That was a funny movie. So enjoy that, John Michael. And then let's see. Have there been any reports of damage from this morning's storms? The damage was limited. No, that we know of, no structural damage. We don't know of any injuries. And, some of the damage that we did learn about was basically some trees down. Some were uprooted, but fortunately no major issues with damage or injuries from the storm. So as Jeff said, the tornado warnings went off because the tools that we have now, especially with radar and the other things like that, they can pick up on that stuff in the sky before it even gets to the ground. So they send out those warnings. So some people were, I'm sure the alarm went off on their phone with a tornado warning, and all of a sudden, what's going on? But fortunately, from what we understand, we don't have any injuries or any major structural issues. It's just some trees. So that is good news. Yep, absolutely, indeed. Well, Suzanne, thank you for checking in. Thank everybody for checking in today on this April 3rd, 2025. Hopefully you have a great rest of your Thursday. Can't thank you enough for stopping by. Can't thank Valley Converting enough for being a part of the show and bringing it all to us. And producer extraordinaire, Jordan, can't thank her enough for all that she does for the show every day. Yeah, Suzanne was up this morning when all that happened. And we can't thank you guys enough for being by on this third day of April 2025. And just want to wish everybody a great rest of the day. And we will see you tomorrow. Remember, tonight, if you can go to the Fort Steuben Mall in Steubenville, please do. We have the 9-minute Phill-Up. We don't have the 9-minute Phill-Up. We have the News 9 Sports on the go. And if you can't see it, if you can't be there live, you can watch it live at home at 7 o'clock on the WTOV 9 YouTube channel. And then if you can't do that, it's streaming on Facebook at 9 o'clock in the evening. I can't thank everybody enough for supporting that. There's a lot of people tune in to watch that. They may catch it a little bit later, but we greatly appreciate it. And I speak for the Nacho Man. And again, tonight, Rich Donning will be there, Joe Patini, a couple of major leaguers, and then Mark Eddy, the singer-comedian from the Ohio Valley. So we have a lot of fun coming up today. We'll talk about torpedo bats. Everyone's all excited about these torpedo bats. I don't think they mean anything. If you hit well with it, keep using it. But at some point over 162 games, you're going to go in a slump and not be able to hit anything with anything. So there you go. Anyways, 2 rules, everybody. Have fun and always try your best. We greatly appreciate you being with us. We'll see you.